That mission that started 83 years ago, it's not over. It's not over until we find every last person and we bring them home. It's a fellow brother, or in some cases, actually, sister in arms. The importance is that we keep a promise in my mind that we made to those that were willing to sacrifice everything they had their entire life to keep that promise to go back and get them. And the first way we do that is finding the wreck.
A known B-17 bomber had crashed into Kiel Bay during World War II, and the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency contracted the Department of Anthropology at Texas A&M University to conduct an underwater remote sensing survey. These type of projects really hit at the heart of what Texas A&M is. Not only do we have a very strong military tradition at Texas A&M, but our core values are based on selfless service, integrity, and leadership, and our project highlighted all those aspects and even more.
This project had two main goals. The first goal was to delineate the large area of the sea and conduct remote sensing survey of that area of the ocean. That involves scanning the surface with side-scan sonar and magnetometer to understand the seafloor. What might be present or absent on that seafloor, and can we quickly and efficiently identify potential wreckage. The second objective was to deploy divers to fully investigate all those areas and discover if those are in fact associated with the aircraft wreckage.
One of the unique parts of archaeology is that you get to experience history directly. When you are underwater and you encounter those objects for the first time, for the artifacts, you're touching that history, and there's no barrier between you and history. You see propellers, you see parts of the plane, and you know this is a World War II site, and you know that the men who lost their lives on that site were no older than the undergraduate students I teach on a daily basis.
The wreck was relatively early in the war, at a time when losses were very high from American bombers. There were well over 300 of this model of aircraft shot down due to German air defenses.
Each aircraft carried multiple machine guns. We were extremely lucky that during our underwater investigation, two of the machine guns were sort of loosely placed, and we were able to recover them to the surface. Underwater excavation is very exciting. It's a different environment. The highlight is always understanding what happened. It's a unique experience and takes a lot of science, a lot of archaeological work, and careful investigation of all individual pieces to fully understand and provide the best answers.
On aircraft wreckages, it's really important to actually find the machine guns. They are a controlled item in the military, and they are not only stamped with a serial number, their location on any given aircraft was tightly controlled throughout the war. We removed the concretion, which is an organic substance that grows over metal in the salt water, and we were able to get very good results on those serial numbers. That gave us more confirmation that this was a World War II B-17 bomber. So as more archival research, more historical research is done with those serial numbers on that, we'll have a positive identification of the aircraft. And then we will have a positive identification of the people who were known to be lost on the aircraft, leading into full excavation of the site in the future.
I think that as a premier R1 institution, our expertise in nautical and underwater archaeology is world famous. But at the same time, there's not one single individual or agency that can start and finish this entire investigative process and research. It takes a lot of individuals, a lot of experiences, a lot of people.
What we did is not just to finish a project. What we did is also for the community and for the public. These kind of project is bringing back the curiosity that you realize how big is the world, but how small is the human community itself. I think that's something very important.
A huge part of this project is also educational experience for students. Research is critical, but one of the key elements is also to train future archaeologists so they can continue this mission and other projects of this type. We have the best facilities and some of the best students to continue this type of research and be part of a bigger scientific process.
These missing soldiers, what they did is something very selfless for their country and their community. Like this kind of project, we use our specialty to bring back their story and their memory. That's why this project is special for me, is that it has a human connection. You feel they're connected with you.
I was a volunteer for this project and I asked to go on it. I was in the Air Force for 22 years. I thought I added value to the team, basically in trying to identify aircraft parts and being the military aircraft and armament expert. This is a good cause and it kind of attracts people that want to do that type of work. And I realized that what I look forward to most is being with a bunch of like-minded people on a project that's bigger than yourself.
When I came here to Texas A&M as a professor of archaeology, there was opportunities through DPA to bring that aspect of service-based archaeology into the job. You are the steward for that moment. You're using scientific methods, you're using archaeology to make sure you have the story right. This is about values, about your service. It's giving back to your country. For me, it was one of the most meaningful experiences, and it's also why I keep coming back to this type of archaeology.